Hello to all of you wonderful people of all forms, sexes, genders, and everything and everyone to the newest edition of Weird Mind Newsroom, episode 52, where this week we'll be talking on a small selection of new releases, a near endless amount of trailers, and a lot of announcements and discussions from the news section, all on the basis of media entertainment. So, without wasting too much time, let's get to discussing what has come out this week. So we'll start the new releases of the week with thinking back to the days of childhood with the all-new family film of If. Now this film will follow Bee, played by Kaylee Fleming, who discovers that she has the ability to see the imaginary friends of those whose kids have grown up. With the assistance of her upstairs neighbour, that's played by Ryan Reynolds, they will find a way to bring them back to their kids and for also them to find some new ones to be the imaginary friends for. Reception on this film as of writing has been a little mixed, with praise to the cast deep on the concept and feeling a little all over the place in execution. This more from the critics. Audiences seem to be more in the favour of it, what I've seen online. But if you want to reminisce about the past of your childhood ifs, you can catch this new film out now in cinemas. But if you're looking for more of an unsettling horror thriller, then look no further than the return to a sleeper saga with the new prequel of The Strangers Chapter 1. This film will follow a young couple as well on a road trip to see their car break down in an eerie small town and have to stay in a small cabin that soon becomes a panic-inducing experience as they have soon terrorized by three masked strangers who strike with no mercy and seemingly with no motive. Reception for this, however, of course, like most horror films this year, has not been that great, where the praise has been gone to the tense atmosphere, the performances and direction, but has been panned for the use of its jump scares, its familiar atmosphere and its familiar feeling presence, and feeling very similar to the original film. A lot of people I've seen reviews for have basically said this is just The Strangers from 2008 just remade. Now this is the planned start of a trilogy with the next part planned for release I think later this year and the third part next year, but if you want to see where this all begins, you can check this out now in cinemas. Have you been feeling down and looking for a little cheer up as well? Well, you are in luck, as we have finally gotten some new ways to make you smile, as we have finally received the now official start of the second season to Smiling Friends. Now this new season will once again see the familiar faces of Pim, Charlie, Alan, Glep, and Mr. Boss as they make it their mission to make people smile, from classic video game characters of of the past, alien enthusiasts, and even to the President of America. Now, like the first season, the first few episodes have been very well received for its concept, its humor, and the approach to the visuals animation, all done to make each episode feel unique and different, all thanks to the crazy minds of Michael Cusack and Zach Cadell, with some critiques I've seen for the second episode feeling a little bit flat. Basically it's the live action characters, but you know, it's unique. But if you're looking for something to put a smile on your face, you can catch this new season now in the US on Adult Swim, with the next day on Max, and on Channel 4 on demand in the UK and Ireland, with a new episode releasing every Monday. But for now, it's time to dress elegantly and for a bit of a Victorian setting of romance, lust and mystery, as we have received the first part to the third season of Bridgerton. Now this new season will be following Penelope as she has moved on from her crush on Colin in the new pursuit of finding a husband, one that will also allow her to continue her secret life as Lady Whistledown and love her for who she really is. Reception so far in the first part has been a little mixed, with praise on the performances of Irish lead of Nicola Coughlan and the setting, but critique for feeling it is losing its charm, as well as it defined on the sex scenes as being either unbearably sexy or dull, which feels odd of a focus for a review about a period piece talking about like, you know, this sex is ass or this sex is arousing. But if you want to head back to an era of upper class drama, you can catch the first 4 episodes of the season now on Netflix, with part 2 coming out next month on June 13th. So with all of them, that's all the new releases that we have for this week.
The Wicked Witch of the East, bro!
Starting off trailers for the week is one of the first films that's going to be shown at this week's Cannes Festival, and has taken us to a new world and passion project for the mind of Godfather director of Francis Ford Coppola, with a new trailer for Megalopolis. Now this film will be telling the tale of a destruction of the decaying metropolis of New Rome, and tells the story from Caesar Catalan, played by Adam Driver, an idealist architect with the power to stop time and aims to rebuild the city as a sustainable utopia, which his opposition of corrupt Mayor Franklin Cicero, played by Giancarlo Esposito, remains committed to a regressive status quo. Now this film has quite the intricate look and feel to it all, and seems to be a case that the reception for the currently ongoing Cannes Festival has proven that with a varied mixed response to it all, as well as some questionable accusations that have come out towards the director since just before this whole premiere. Now we'll have to wait and see for when this film releases. It is confirmed for this year, but we have not yet gotten a date, but once I do, I'll update in a later video. Next up is bringing us back to the ancient days of Middle-earth off once more as we have received a trailer for the second season of The Rings of Power. This series seems to be focusing more on the rise of the all-powerful figure of Sauron, and their season will explore how he will deceive the people of Middle-earth into creating the Rings of Power that he can use to control them all. Now, I will say I have yet to actually watch the first season in full, as I've heard a very mixed variety of opinions on it, but I will give a look into the series in due time, and I will try and watch the series before this new season begins on Amazon Prime on August 29th. But now for the fires to burn bright and rise as we receive the final trailer for the upcoming second season for Game of Thrones House of the Dragon. The new season will follow on from where the last season with betrayal and conflict, as the throne that was destined for Rhaena Targaryen, who is out of to start a war of betrayal and heartbreak from the death of her son, has been taken from her by the Green side, while the other side of Alicent and her children are preparing to rule the lands of Westeros from the Iron Throne themselves. Now, I've enjoyed the return of the great work to the world of Ice and Fire from George R. R. Martin's mind after the mixed mess of the end of the original series, and I'm looking forward to checking this new season now, and it's not too long to go now. As of recording this, it's about just under a month's time on June 16th. Might I say, a mystery is afoot, as with the new teaser we have gotten for the new first look at the upcoming fourth season to the popular murder mystery comedy series Only Murders in the Building. Now, this new season will see the trio of Charles, Oliver, and Mabel being whisked away to land of Hollywood, as some big studios are looking to turn their podcast into a big budget film, while at the same time trying to solve the death of another inhabitant from a sniper shot and joining another poor victim of the Arconia. Now, I've enjoyed the new series for its comedy, its charm, and the chemistry of the three main leads. I am looking forward to checking out this another mystery and finding out who is the one that killed them and to solve it all. And we won't be too long to go now, as the new season will also be confirmed, premiering on Disney Plus and Hulu on August 27th. And if you've not had your fill of spice yet, or about the discussion of the Ben Gesserit, then you are in luck, my friend, as out of nowhere, we've also received a new look at the upcoming new TV series set in the world of Dennis Herbert's novels with Dune Prophecy. This series will take place 10,000 years before the birth of Paul Atreides, and follows sisters Valia and Tula Harkonnen as they combat forces that threaten the future of humanity and lead to them establishing the fabled sect of the Ben Gesserit. Now, I'm intrigued by the concept of this series, and I'm not sure if this will be based on any of the books or spin-offs, or if this is its own separate piece. It does look interesting from the first glance. I'm sure we will learn more about how it all comes together when it releases onto streaming services like Max in the US sometime later this fall. Now, for some you haven't seen in a while, a video game trailer of all things, as it's been quiet for the last few weeks, but it's returning to the world of the ancient battle of two factions that span the centuries of the past, as we will be donning the hood and hidden blades with the newest entry of Assassins and Templars with the first look at Assassin's Creed Shadows. This new game will be set in the backdrop of late 16th century feudal Japan, a setting that has been a fan-demanded area since the series' inception. And you will see to take on the role of Naoi, a female shinobi or ninja, and Yasuke, an African samurai, as you restore peace and order to the lands against the tyranny and bloodshed of the Sengoku period. Now, from the cinematic trailer, I think this looks awesome, to be fair. I always love the cinematic trailers for these Assassin's Creed games, though I have seen a lot of disdain towards this game, which I am chalking up to being one of the main characters is a woman and is not attractive, like every game that has come out from the US or Western studio. 2, they are unfamiliar with the concept of some of the lore of ancient Japan. Or 3, people are tired of the series in Ubisoft and maybe are just going to complain about any game or media piece that comes out these days. That's my guess. But either way, I'm very excited to see this game in action, and hopefully we'll see some gameplay soon enough. But this game will be launching soon enough this year on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on November 15th. Simply to ask you a question of what you're gonna do when they come for you, as we have the second and final trailer for this week received for the upcoming release of Bad Boys Ride or Die. This film will see Detective Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett team up once again when investigating corruption in the Miami PD, when the late Captain Conrad Howard is posthumously accused of being involved in drug cartels. It soon ends up with them on the run as fugitives, and they must find a way to restore order, clear their name, and clear the name of their late captain. Now, I did enjoy the last movie in the series, and I had concerns this may be a rush job given that it was only wrapped filming about a month and a half ago and releasing within a month and a half later in June. But I have heard some positive reception from some early screenings of this movie already, so I'm having more of a mild interest in checking this out, and you can yourself when this film releases into cinemas on June 5th. And of all of that, that's all of the trailers for this week.
Sometimes I let matches burn down to my fingertips just to feel something, anything.
Starting with the news, there is a lot of new announcements to come from this week to talk about, and it was so many that I was going to categorize them all into different groups and sections. So they have similar aesthetics and stuff. So we're going to start with the first of the wave of them, and that is in the realm of the superheroes. So we're going to start on the side with the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the confirmation of the final connected Marvel show for this year. And this comes into the form of the WandaVision spin-off focused on Agatha Harkness. And after so many different name tags, some good, some bad, some rumored apparently was really bad, is now officially been called, and rightfully so, Agatha all along. This has the confirmation of releasing with a 2-episode premiere from the 18th of September of this year, and I am unsure of how many episodes there will be in the series, but I feel if it's timed right, it may release the finale on Halloween. It would be a spoopy delight, I will say. Hopefully it does turn out well, because I did like her character in the original series, so let's hope she's up to her old tricks again this fall. This was, however, not the only Marvel show with an announced date, as there was a confirmation of 2 other shows confirmed to be releasing for the following year, and as the confirmation that Daredevil Born Again is now releasing sometime in March of next year, and Ironheart will be releasing sometime later in 2025. So it does sound exciting, and it seems to be relating back to the plan I discussed last week, delving into how Marvel will be reducing its output from more quality over quantity. I guess that the production of Daredevil has turned around after the project was reworked back in October, where they fired the team, they reworked it, because I think a case initially that it was supposed to be like, he doesn't get into the suit until like halfway through the series, so it's a bit weird. Also, I've heard now apparently this series has been halved. Instead of 18 episodes, it's 9, so I'm not sure it's confirmed or not, but we'll have to see. But we'll see by the time the respective releases. Now, jumping from Marvel to DC Studios, it looks like we now know the next project of the planned films of the DCU will be following next year's Superman film, and has been confirmed to be in the form of his cousin Kara, as has been announced that Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow will be releasing the following year on June 26th, 2026. So it looks like Gunn may be planning a form of a new film a year to even out the project amongst films, shows, animation, and games that balance it out. If they take a case of what the next one will be after this, I'm feeling might be brave and the bold, as it makes sense not to release the Batman film in the same year as the Matt Reeves project, so we'll have to see how the info for that one brings. And lastly now, we're going to jump from one superhero date announcement comes to us in the form of Amazon Prime, as while we are waiting for the release of the upcoming 4th season to The Boys next month, Amazon has already gone ahead and announced a renewal of the show for a 5th season. Now it's unclear if this season will lead to that recently announced one be the last one, given we have not seen the season release yet, but I feel they may clear it up close to the end of the project and will come in due time. But what are your thoughts on all of these superhero films and show announcements and renewals, and is there any of them you are actually looking forward to in particular? I'm intrigued with the Daredevil one in focus, and I hope this Agatha one is pretty good. But let me know what your opinions on all of them are down below in the comments. Okay, I know I just did an entire news section on superheroes, but this one is a bit more of an exception, as this is not to do with announcements of release dates, but as a reason for this one in particular, as while all of them were release date announcements, this is more of a confirmation, an update on 2 projects based on similar elements, and it comes to the form of the talking about the web-slinging heroes of the Spider-Verse. Now, it's fair to say that Spidey's had a massive success over the last few years, maybe in the last decade, from massive success with the MCU with the last 2 Avengers movies, Civil War, their own solo home trilogy, a trilogy of acclaimed games from Insomniac, and of course, the absolute work of art that is the 2 films and short film of the Spider-Verse animated trilogy that's in the works right now. And here is where we must talk about one of the variants of the Spider People. Now, if you've watched Into the Spider-Verse, you know that one of the members of the group introduced in that one was the detective form of Spider-Man Noir, a version that I think is really cool and has a great concept mix from the comics, and would love to see more of him, and it sounds like that is about to become a reality. As it was announced on Monday of this week that Amazon Prime has now officially signed on a deal for the creation of a live-action Spider-Man Noir series, and also bring back the voice of the character from the animated film in the form of Nicolas Cage playing the character, which is already a win in my book. Nicolas Cage is always a win. Now, we have no idea on other elements, but we do know that the series will also be executive produced by Lego Movie and Spider-Verse creators of Phil Lord and Chris Miller, as well as Amy Pascal, so it has the potential of working really well, and I, for one, am excited to see where this will go once development is made on the project. However, while one project gets the green light, another will have to be shelved for the time being, but I'll get to that in a minute. As announced on the same a couple days later that the planned series based on the Spider-Verse character of Silk has now been shelved. Now, the reason I feel this maybe has been shelved is either one of 2 reasons. First one could be the usual staple of not having a clear vision or creative difficulties or differences, that the vision was just not there and they shelved it for a later time. And the second reason may have been to do with the disappointment of another female-led Spider-Verse character, and that was of course with this year's film of Madame Web. If you see the case, remember, the film released 2 months ago and the reception and box office is a Now, I did see it, I'm going to review for that soon enough, but I feel maybe the case you're just worried that if they do another female-focused Spider-Man character, it might be a bit of a disaster. Although, in case we do know there is an animated Spider-Woman film with the characters from the Spider-Verse movies in focus, with like Spider-Gwen, Spider-Woman, all shit, and she'd probably be in that as well. But I feel why I mention the case instance for the moment is I feel if this noir series does well, I think logically it will come back and be renewed of interest, and it'll probably end up doing well. I feel the case that, you know, Prime has been really pumping out some pretty good shows lately, so I will say there is hope. But I guess we'll have to see once more development comes along. But I want to know your thoughts on this. Are you excited for a Spider-Man noir series with Nicolas Cage? And were you looking forward to a Spider-Verse series based on Silk? Or which characters do you think should deserve one? Which Spider-Man characters do you have? I think Spider-Gwen should get one, get Miles in live action form as well, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on all this down below. Alrighty-o, the next story will be more of some more new release date announcements and changes, but these are not really more on the basis of superheroes, but rather they delve more into some announcements for sequels to projects, from adaptations to follow-ups and horrors and other stuff, as well as like some spin-offs. So let's waste time this either and let's get to talking about this piece as well. With the first of the announcements, we'll ask you to test your might. As the questions about, and after questions and debate about when we were going to get this project coming along, it's finally announced that we will be receiving the sequel to 2021's film adaptation of Mortal Kombat! And just this week, that news was announced. It is now confirmed the next fighting tournament will be releasing into cinemas on October 24th of next year, just in time for Halloween. Now I have to give a rewatch to the previous film to catch up and wonder who else besides Johnny Cage will be added to the roster of new characters in the fight, but I guess only time will tell for that. That isn't, however, the only video game adaptation that has received some news of this week, as it's not long after this that before we'll be making a return to the pizzeria, I'm wondering of asking you the important question: are you ready for Freddy again? As it's confirmed at the end of this week that we'll be getting the second Five Nights at Freddy's movie releasing just in time for the holidays on December 5th, 2025. Now I did enjoy the first film, despite the issues and flaws, and I will delve into that more in my eventual review, but I'm intrigued to see which new animatronics will be included in this film, but I'm guessing like Mangled, toy ones, Puppet, there's like hundreds of characters. You're going from multiple custom to just 50, so we'll just see how it learns along as development begins on this project soon, and we did see Matthew Lillard in his costume with the live action Scooby-Doo puppet, which is pretty wholesome. Now speaking of horror, we have the announcement of release dates and slight delay for two upcoming sequels from Blumhouse, and this comes to us in the form of the sequel to The Black Phone and Megan 2.0. Now both projects will also be bowing into cinemas in 2025, with Megan 2.0 getting a slight delay again from May to June 27th of that year, and that bumps Black Phone's sequel from that June release all the way to October 17th, 2025. Now I'm intrigued with what they will do with Megan, and I'm confused as to how they can do another Black Phone movie given the end of the last one. If you've seen it, you probably know what I'm talking about, but I'm sure Jason Blum and Scott Derrickson probably have an idea in mind for it. But now in a surprise and welcome announcement, it's be time to hit the fairways again real soon, as it was announced that we'll be getting a sequel to the 90s Adam Sandler comedy classic of Happy Gilmore. Now, this new project will be distributed by Netflix, and it's confirmed that Sandler will be back as the main lead again, and it's also been discussed that the character of Shooter McGavin, or Christopher McDonald, may also be involved as well, as it had dropped rumors about it back in March of this year. Now it's unclear of what this new film will be about or when we can expect it, but I'm sure we'll be happy to play some golf real soon. And in the last of the follow-ups or spin-off discussions comes to us in the form of news from Lionsgate. It has been announced that we'll be getting a second spin-off film based on the universe of John Wick, and this will be based on the character introduced in Chapter 4 of Blind Assassin of Cain. Now, I do enjoy his performance and character in Chapter 4, and I'm intrigued to see what they will do with the performance when this film gets underway in development, and once I hear anything more about that, I'll update in a later piece. Now, of all of them, what are your own thoughts on all these sequels and spin-off announcements and dates, and which one in particular are you most excited for? I'm intrigued by the Kane one, and hopefully the FNAF one just goes even more crazy, and hopefully we get an R rating or something, but that's a bit of a stretch. Anyway, let me know what your opinions and thoughts are down below. Now, our final story for this week is delving into the discussion of another new adaptation in the works, but in a new form compared to the last two times it has been done before. Now, if you are aware, or have watched my video or read my blog on the history of video game adaptations, then you know that besides Resident Evil and Mario, a series of games that has seen a fair few attempts of making an adaptation for it has been with the badass female explorer of Lara Croft's Tomb Raider. Since the series' inception back in 1996, it has spawned a total of 3 film adaptations, with Angelina Jolie in the first two in the early 2000s with the original and Cradle of Life, and Alicia Vikander in the reboot back in 2018. But now it looks like it's about to get a fresh new take on it, but in a much different format. It was announced earlier this week that Amazon Prime Video, yes, Prime Video is really just cooking them up again, has picked up a TV series version of the character to be released for the streaming service, and has also been confirmed to be written and executive produced by the creator and star of the popular series of Fleabag of Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Now, it has been confirmed if she will take on the lead role of Laura or if they will go for a different actress, so the speculation on that is currently up in the air. But this will now be joining the likes of some other video game adaptation series from Prime with the recent success of the Fallout series, which I need to actually finish, and the upcoming adaptation of God of War they're also working on. So it seems it could be in some safe hands, and we'll hope to make it respectful to the source material, but I guess we'll have to see as more development on this moves on to the project. But what are your own thoughts on this project in particular? Are you excited for another Tomb Raider TV series? And if you had the choice, who would you cast in the role of Lara Croft? Let me know your choice and thoughts on this down below in the comments section, and as always, that's all the news that we have for this week. So before I wrap up, it's been a bit of time since the last one, but it's time for another edition of the special segment. And this week it is a follow to an initial special segment from a fair few weeks ago that I talked about. And this is of course where I mentioned about the Irish-based creative magazine of Abyss. Now, this magazine is the creative genius of some fellow college acquaintances of mine, including the head creator of Brian Gummins. With some fellow college acquaintances, I think my friend Jennifer and some other friends, who have worked on bringing the creation to life from a single concept idea on a screen to where it is now launching this week. As of recording, it was launched yesterday and are launching in both digital and physical form. Now, while my content was unsuccessful in being submitted for the first edition, I'm not going to diss about it anyway, it is still a very well made and fantastic magazine that you should check out if you have the chance. And if you come across a copy, why not buy and support them and, check out all the creative minds and, hundreds of fantastic creations and inspire you to maybe even submit your own stuff. I know as well I'll be give my support over time and investing in the material, but all I know is it seems to be a big success, and I wish them all the best luck in everything for them in the future, and hopefully I'll have a piece that will get myself featured in the future, but I'll see how it turns out in the future, whatever the concept is and the fee. But yeah, as that's the special segment for this week. If you have any in particular you want to see me mention or talk about on my channel, let me know down below in the description, or follow me on my socials you can find on my channel banner, where you can suggest your stuff for special segments. So I'm intrigued to see what it has. But yeah, go check out Abyss when you can. It's great content.
Hello, I'm Mr. Frog and I approve this message.
And now, with all of that, this brings us to the end of episode 52 of Weird Mind Newsroom, and I hope you enjoyed listening to my ramblings. It'll probably be a lengthy one this week. There was a lot of content. So a little updates. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you all for checking out my Has Been Hotel review. It was a lot of process and a lot of love and effort went into it, as well as all references and little bits, and I didn't expect it to pop off as hard as it did. I was betting it was going to go the usual numbers I've gotten for a lot of these videos, around some small ones for these Weird Mind ones, or even to the highest around maybe a few double digits, maybe teetering into 100 views or something, but I didn't expect over 300, and it has now become the most viewed video on my channel that's overtaken both Spider-Verse and Fast X as the most viewed one. I appreciate every single one of you for checking out the video and giving the love, support, comments, likes, and just views on it. And if you haven't seen it already, do check it out down below in the description or on my channel. It's a good watch if you enjoy it. I put a lot of effort into it. And it may be a case where some aspects, so I will probably return to that universe of Has Been Hotel whenever the next season comes along, or maybe do a few little song covers, but I'll keep down the download for the moment. Anyways, other ones. Reviews are coming along. I have the Argyle one ready to go and written up. I'm going to record it soon enough. There's a few other ones I'm going to do some shorts on as well. I'm going to get to them eventually. I have a few other bits I'm going to check out and stuff. I'm going to look through the list of stuff I have already and do either short form ones or long form ones. The Audience Choice one I'm currently working on right now, I'm just sort of brainstorming it right now. I'm going to start writing up in the next couple of hours and hopefully have that out probably in the next few weeks. Same thing where you watch a fun. I'm going to maybe record some bits. I'm sort of sitting there looking at the TV staring at me and thinking I might record at least one of the films left in the first part and just go with that case and then build on the writing for it. I'm not going to release the full blog yet until I do every film, but I'm going to split into 2-part videos, but I'm going to get to that anyway. Other long form stuff, gameplay wise, I did or just buy this earlier before I started recording this. It's just a 4K HDMI video capture card. Wasn't that pricey? And I'm going to see if it works for capturing footage from Switch, PS3, Wii U, PS5, Xbox, I think PS2 might work. I have to figure something out for DS and Game Boy and 3DS and stuff, but I'll figure it out. And yeah, some other stuff like long form essay is going to come, or audience show is going to come. If you want your opinions, choices of ones, let me down below when I get to them in the list. And yeah, some other stuff I'll probably go for my channel, but I'll get to it over time. But yeah, that's where I'm probably going to leave the video for now. So if you enjoyed this video and want to see more from me and more frequently, why not like the video and subscribe, as I upload weekly, and I hope to reach a goal maybe this year of 100 subs, maybe double what I have right now. But yeah, that's where I'm probably going to leave it for now. Share around if you enjoyed all my content. I'd love to hear all your thoughts as well about everything was discussed this week down below in the comments, from if you've seen any new releases, what are your thoughts on the trailers, and give me your opinions on everything that was discussed in the news. If you can hear my ramblings, of course, because I do like to talk a lot quick. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm getting very warm. It's very warm out, we'll say. But thank you for watching. And as always, you all stay being wonderful people, because you all are wonderful people. I can see you all out there. Have a great day every day. And as always, keep being you, because no one else can do what you do. So I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. So take care, everybody, and goodbye, everybody.